If you're interested in a card that gives you luxury lounge access while you're at the airport, as well as free seat upgrade just for owning that card, then the Delta SkyMiles Reserve card might be the card for you. This card is out there for that flyer out there that wants to travel in luxury. They may have some extra time on their hands at the airport and don't want to just sit around next to the food court where everybody's sitting, but they want to get into the lounge. Or they might want to book their flights in advance and have the chance to upgrade their actual seats for free to Delta Comfort or even to their first class seats. Both of these are two big perks that come along with the Delta SkyMiles Reserve card. I'm going to talk about why this is a great card and why it might interest you to put it into your wallet. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Chase and this is a Paint Pictures Guide to Personal Finance and Investing. If you are enjoying this type of content and would like to learn a little bit more, then consider go ahead and subscribing and go hit that like button if you want to get more stuff just like this. All right, so we'll jump right into the video. So who is this card going to be for? Well, it's like what I said before. It's going to be for that person that likes to travel and for that person that wants to take advantage of all the benefits that come along with this card. Now, there is a pretty hefty annual fee associated with this, but I do believe that all the benefits as well as the sign-on bonus associated with this card will more than pay for it if you utilize it correctly. So the annual fee is going to be about $550, which is going to be approximately what other premium cards just like this are going to be costing comparatively, because this is an American Express card and it falls near their Platinum card, which it actually is slightly cheaper than that American Express Platinum card, and we will actually talk about them in other videos right here if you're interested in that. But let's not focus too much on the annual fee and let's talk about all the perks and the reasons why it's worth that amount of money. But before we do that, we'll talk about some of the downfalls associated with these credit cards. Just like always, we here at a Painting Pictures Guide, we do recommend if you are going to use this credit card, if you do utilize it correctly, you should pay it off every month without going overdue, because even then you're going to just be paying the credit card company to use their card and it really defeats the purpose. At that point, you should be using a debit card or just pulling money or paying cash from your bank account, because then you will no longer be paying extra money and you can control your spending. Me personally, I will buy things from my credit card because it's pre-allocated and I already know what I'm going to be spending, and so I'd rather make some extra points or some extra cash back on that associated with that. So from the beginning, do not do this card if you cannot appropriately pay it off on a monthly basis. This card does have a pretty hefty APR associated with it. It's going to depend on your credit score as well as your lending history, anywhere between 15 and 27%, and that will change depending on that. But it shouldn't matter because you're going to be paying it off on a monthly basis anyways. Now, the sign-on bonus is a pretty nice bonus right now, and what I want to kind of focus on is where you're going to get that sign-on bonus from. I would recommend going directly to the Delta site because they are giving an additional amount of bonus miles that you can take advantage of, whereas if you go specifically to the American Express website, it's going to be a lot lower. So on the Delta website, they have a sign-on bonus earn of 125,000 bonus miles and a 10,000 medallion qualification miles or MQMs after you spend $5,000 in purchases in the first 3 months. That's not too much when you really think about it. If you're going to be putting all your groceries, your gas, and other things that you're already going to be spending or paying cash for, that's going to be approximately $1,600 or so per month, which most of you people should really meet that criteria. Now, previously, Delta had said that the 80,000 points that you would get from the previous sign-on bonus was going to be worth about $800. So now this 125,000 points that you get with this, we can safely assume will be approximately around $1,250 in miles if you utilize them correctly. So one of the best and favorite perks that I like this card, and the reason why I have it, is because I like to fly in higher class. And so with this card, it gives me the option to be freely upgraded to a Delta Comfort Plus or even to first class. Just because I booked into that flight, they will automatically put me on the list to be upgraded. And depending on my tier status will determine when and where I will be upgraded to. So if I'm in a flight that is not fully booked and there are not many people out there that are in these tier status, then I will be going ahead and upgraded to a first class ticket, which is always great. If it is a very full flight and there are other people that have already been placed onto this list, then it will depend on my Delta tier status on where and when, if or even if I will be upgraded to. And so the use of using this card to get to higher tiers is how people have been able to take advantage of all the benefits associated with this card. So first of all, the silver status is going to be 25,000 MQMs. The gold status will be 50,000 MQMs. The platinum status will be 75 MQMs. And then the diamond, which is the highest status out there, that puts you at the highest list, will be 125 MQMs. Now let's get down to what everybody has come here to this video to listen and learn about, and it's going to be the perks associated with the Delta SkyMiles Reserve card. Well, first I want to talk about is that you get closer to medallion status with a status boost, and with that status boost you earn 15,000 medallion qualifying miles after you spend $30,000 in purchases on your card in a calendar year, which really isn't that bad if you calculate up all the things you will spend on your credit card during this time, whether that's, paying for any monthly costs for gas, groceries, just going out and eating if you do that and you have already budgeted for it, or even if you're able to put like your mortgage or your credit card or your car payments on there, then you can easily get to this point after a few months. Now it will allow you to get up to this happened up to 4 times per calendar year, and so you can use that to build up your MQMs and reach that new medallion status like we talked about earlier. And that will also allow you to have an MQD waiver, which is after that first $25,000, you'll automatically move up to the next medallion status. You do get complimentary Delta Sky Club as well as Centurion Lounge access, which I do think is great. And that is something that you should not scoff at, because the Centurion Lounge is awesome for if you're having to wait and get there. There is a Delta Reserve annual companion certificate that comes along with it that I do think is a great option, because what you basically can do is if you book a flight anywhere in the continental US for a round trip, you can get another pass for free with associated fees that come along with it, which is approximately $75, which is a great option moving forward. And I do think once you re-up your card, this is awesome and can easily pay for the annual fee of $550 right there. You do get that upgrade priority, which I talked about earlier, which if you do utilize it correctly, you can get that first class on a pretty regular basis and get along with the other complimentary upgrades up to that Delta Comfort Plus. You'll also get that 3 times miles on purchases and 1 time miles on other purchases, which is pretty good. But in the grand scheme of things, you're using the card for another reason, not specifically for the miles. You will get your first check bag for free, which is great. That's a $60 value for a round trip, up to $240 for that round trip for a family, which could easily pay for part of that SkyMiles right there. And you will also get a global TSA and Precheck associated with it, which is awesome, up to $100 with that to just pay for that for a credit. And then there are a couple other insurance things that come along with it that I think it makes the card worth it as well. You also get some baggage insurance, which, if you travel a lot and you want to travel comfortably, you want to make sure that your bag will get there appropriately. And so they will, when you purchase your entire fare with with this card, then the coverage provided for up to $1,250 for carry-on baggage and up to $500 for checked baggage, which is pretty great. And that can be up to 10,000 aggregate maximum level for that entire year. One thing I don't think people will really utilize that much, but if you are one of those people that has to have something in flight, then if you buy it with this card, then you'll get 20% back. And I think this is a pretty good benefit if you have to have that. For me personally, I will not be buying anything in my flight. And so just something there that if you do utilize it, you can definitely take advantage of that. Now, the 2 ones that I do like are the trip delay and the trip cancellation. As long as it is within a covered instance, then you can get some reimbursement associated with that. Trip delay is up to $500 per trip, maximum 2 claims per year. And then trip cancellation, that is going to be up to $10,000 per trip, up to $20,000 per eligible card if that is canceled, which is huge as long as it's within that covered expense that it's talking about. Now, that is pretty similar to what the American Express Platinum card, but the same thing is associated with the car rental loss and damage insurance, where you can have it immediately covered. If you rent with this card, then you won't have to worry about getting the extra coverage of insurance associated with renting a car. And then those are the biggest things associated with the fees and the insurances associated with this card that I really do like. There are a couple other great things that also come with the American Express Platinum card that we'll also see with this American Express Delta SkyMiles Reserve card. Now, one of the things that you can really take advantage of with this card is going to be having to do with the shopping and entertainment. The 3 things that I like is going to be the return protection, the purchase protection, and an extended warranty. So if you use this card to buy a certain item that you end up wanting to return and that item is not returnable at the store, within that first 90 days, American Express will cover up to $300 per item, which is awesome. The purchase protection is pretty great. So if you buy a pretty expensive item up to $10,000, they will actually refund you that price if something was to happen to that, where it was to be stolen, accidentally damaged, or lost, which is awesome. And the last one that I really like is going to be the extended warranty. Basically, if something fades on a flat screen TV, or you buy something that's pretty expensive and it isn't fully fit into that warranty system, then they will actually cover it up to 5 years or less on that covered purchase in the United States or its territories. In the end, this card is a pretty great card if you like to travel and you like to have some additional benefits associated with it, as long as you are not already having some other card that will cover those particular benefits. At a pretty hefty $550 annual fee, if you utilize it correctly, you can easily pay for this fee and get some great luxury associated with it as well. I would recommend this card if you are somebody that loves to fly at Delta, or if you are near a Delta hub and will be utilizing their airports, their flights on a regular basis. If you got some good information from this video, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll put some more information on cards just like this if you're interested in it. And as always, we want to remind you that we are here from your first penny to your first million. We'll see you next time. See you later.